Peace. How you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, right? Don't quote me on the date because I didn't even think about that. I just turned my camera on and started talking. But peace and love. I hope this message finds you in the best of health, spirit, and mind. This is going to be a short video. I'm just outside. I was thinking about doing a post today about the importance of the sun and our relationship and our connection to the sun, and how much better and invigorated and alive I feel when I spend, a considerate amount of time in the sun. It was a really beautiful day yesterday in LA. I went for originally planned a short walk, but ended up walking for like an hour and maybe 15 minutes. But I just felt a different type of energetic resonance when I was done and throughout the rest of the day. And it kind of underscores on the other end of the spectrum why they are doing so much to block the sun from us and from the earth, from all of nature for that matter. Because this timeline that we're in and the quote unquote awakening, I'll call it that, in humanity, and how the conditions on the ground are causing us and forcing us to elevate spiritually, which is one of the main points I want to make right now in doing this video, because it's probably about 72 degrees right now. It's really nice outside. It's a perfect day for walking. Not really a lot of wind, but as I'm going to show you the sky, they have been spraying, you know what, and when I'm out and I recognize that they're doing it, especially when it's like active over my head, it affects my energy. It affects my thinking. I have to put in a little extra elbow grease, so to speak, to not get irritated or sometimes pissed off, depending how bad it is. And then particularly here in LA, I think the very overt, obvious spraying to me is not just for the harmful intentions that it has, but it's also like a psychological thing. Like, yeah, you're in Hollywood. We can, create something right above your head that you won't even see. And so I'm saying all of that to say because I'm not going to let these people disconnect me from source and disconnect me from Mother Nature. That's just not possible. As I was just walking, just got a little windy here when I said wind was light, right? As I was walking and thinking about that concept I've been talking about, God is in the details, this timeline is really forcing, and forcing is probably too strong a word, but commanding or demanding us to step our game up, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I'm emphasizing those points because we always emphasize the physical, whether we're, doing it or not. But in terms of like our vibrational resonance and being able to maintain frequency, regardless of whom or what, is a really strong, message that just kind of reiterated to me as I was thinking about the importance of the sun, how much better I feel when I'm in the sun. And then I'm walking right now in a very beautiful environment and still having to be mindful and conscientious that I am breathing in poison. And I can usually, I usually have a physical reaction when I'm outside a lot and they're spraying. I get a different type of mucus. It's a lot more thick. It's a lot thicker. Sorry, I know that's gross, but just so you can, be mindful for yourself, it's a different type of mucus than a regular cold or cough. And so the colloidal silver nasal spray helps with that. It's not long term. And then, of course, apple, lemon, ginger, strong ginger shots and juice help with that as well. But just the point of maintaining frequency outside, beautiful day, perfect weather, all this lush beauty of green and Mother Nature showing out around me. And then I can see this blatant show of disrespect in the skies right above me that I know is harmful to and for me, as well as my son, as well as all of us, or the planet. Um, and that is also like a war on the sun, too, which is so necessary for our overall health and well-being. So I think that's something for us to be mindful and conscientious of when as we decide about, moving around, staying in major cities versus you're moving to more rural environments or places, more based in nature than urban areas, or moving out of America. There's a lot of conversation about that, right? And so, and then you add the towers, and then you add, there's just a lot of reminders for a conscious soul like myself that, that concept of the devil, or however we want to play that or perceive that, it's a real thing. And the intentions of that energy or that state of consciousness have intensified. And I know we all can feel it and see it, especially if you are, eyes wide open, third eye wide open, I guess I should say at this point. So, again, not going to let these people disrupt my relationship with Mother Nature and my extreme love and adoration and appreciation and gratitude for the beauty of Mother Nature in all of its different facets. I am going to, and I've probably said this before, but just intentionally saying it again for all of us, be very intentional about how I'm thinking when I'm seeing the lines in the sky. Oh, this is a beautiful yard. When I'm seeing the lines in the sky, when I'm out walking and might get a reminder, walk past a cell phone tower in a residential neighborhood, which happens a lot, by the way. And it happens a lot in well-to-do areas, especially out here in LA. But yeah, mindful and conscientious that the oxygen that I'm breathing in, that the sunshine that is, embracing me and beautifying everything around me, that the air, the wind, the water, the earth is all still working to my favor, in my benefit, to our favor, in our benefit, and that we need to be intentional about aligning ourselves vibrationally. I'm going to say that for, because it makes sense in my head, but just maintaining frequency and being intentional about how we're thinking and how we're living in the world right now, including when it comes to the best and the worst aspects of what humanity is capable of and what we're seeing. And it's important for us to be witnesses to what humanity is capable of, so that we change the trajectory of this situation and bring the world back into alignment with righteousness and love and beauty and harmony with nature and creativity and, just the ability to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. I heard this brother on a video on Instagram today who said that as the more he heals, the less ambition he has in the world. And he went on to clarify and, making it more about passion, wanting to live in his and through his passion than being on the hamster wheel of life, right? And I can resonate with that and understand that so much. And this is sort of like the threshold where a lot of us are finding our spiritual footing, finding the consistency and the harmony of the God frequency, which is not an easy thing to do. Like maintaining frequency in this world, in this environment, it's gymnastics level, not gymnastics, Olympics level. We talk about the discipline and the fortitude and the workload and the focus that it takes. Universal Olympic games, I'll say that, just to up the ante on how at times difficult that process can be. But again, God is in the details. So the onus is on us to step up into that level of consciousness and awareness where we mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically start to take back control of our planet, including the air. You know what I mean? And not that we ever controlled it, but recontrol, reaffirm, remember the connection and the harmony that we once had and that we should have, and hopefully all of us listening to this have, with the power of this planet. I see videos all the time about different places being sort of energy mecca center, right? And LA is definitely one of those places, and it's interesting because there's a lot of negative conversation when it comes to LA and California, which I totally get. I am born and raised in California, Oakland most of my life, and then LA now for going on 5 years. But just as far as the natural beauty of this place, it is absolutely an epicenter and a mecca of beauty and a very high vibrational resonance when it comes to Mother Nature. And nobody can ever take that from LA. And I'm very clear, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to make my next move. But just to be clear, like, we don't need to forget about the beauty of God while we're, acknowledging the fuckery of humanity. Excuse my language, but that's the most appropriate word that came to my head. We don't, I feel a responsibility to make sure that I'm always standing up for the Most High, because it's our responsibility to take care of this and to beautify it and to cultivate it and to live in harmony with it. And it's not acceptable just to now, seeing what's been done and what they're doing, to just sit back and play a passive position while it's happening. So do we have the planes and the $1 trillion budgets and the ability to have all of the technology they have? No. So then what's our technology? Our minds. That's why I don't like all of the negative projection when it comes to artificial intelligence. We're smothering people with fear. People who came, all of us, humanity, who came here to grow and to expand and to create. So what is our weapon? Our minds. So now I'm walking and I can see behind me lines, and then in front of me I can't really see any lines. It's still a beautiful sunny day. See if I can get the sky above where I am right now. So you see how it's like just beautiful. I mean, I'm just such a fangirl of palm trees. And then you come over here and you see this, right? So I can see both realities. But what I am going to do in lieu of that, and even if the sky was fully gridded out, I wouldn't walk, right? That's the cautious element of like, yeah, all that spiritual stuff sounds good, but be mindful, be cautious, right? I don't walk when they're spraying like that. But again, mentally, as I'm taking deep breaths, which I always do when I walk intentionally, and honing in on my relationship with the Most High and just appreciating the sun, appreciating the beauty of all of this green and just this lusciousness. And I'm not letting anything get in the way with that. The oxygen is serving my highest and best good. The trees are doing what they're supposed to do and serving my highest and best good. The grass is such a pleasure to see. I mean, just the whole experience. So when I say God is in the details and the time is calling for us to step our game up in terms of how we're thinking, feeling, and operating in this world, this is one of those ways. We see their resources, we see their tools, we see their technology. What is our technology? The human brain, our minds, our interests, our creativity, our colorfulness, our, liveliness, our inquisitivity, our curiosity, all that good stuff. That's what it is. Everything we're seeing is is a result of human ingenuity. And I'm here for that. I'm team human ingenuity, okay? I'm here for the organic intelligence, which is the mind of God. I might utilize artificial intelligence when it is needed and necessary, but let's be clear. The role of intelligence that is most at the forefront of my life and my understanding in the world is 1000% organic intelligence. Okay? And I am emphasizing that because I know that what I'm seeing in the sky right now, not God's beauty, not organic intelligence, but the lines are absolutely a part of and a result of a relationship with artificial intelligence, meaning the way that they steer storms, the proximity of when they spray, where they spray, how much they spray, why they spray. Artificial intelligence is moderating and governing all of that. I don't want to get off into that. It's not what this video is about, but I'm just saying, like, it's all relative. So we can see, we say that in the land of the blind, the man with one eye is the king. So then the ones with two eyes or third eye, three eyes maybe, perhaps, are what? King, God, goddess, uh, highest and best self, Allah, uh, you know, aligned with the mind of God, enlightened, all that good stuff. Like, this is the time for us to really step our game up in terms of the mental work, the power of the imagination, the importance of spending time thinking about what it is that we want, how we want this life experience to be, instead of just responding to it. Most of us are just living in a defensive posture because choices were made, decisions were made, or, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a much more, in 2025, the game is much more expectant, I think that's the right word, of us to be on our square mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You got to be able to control your mind right now, and you have to be able to project into the web of consciousness that is the mind of God, so that it can mirror back to you what it is that you really truly desire, but from your authentic self, because those choices and decisions that are made from our authentic self, those things aren't working for us anymore. It's like a whole different paradigm shift and qualification for abundance. I ain't even just talking about manifesting physical things. I'm talking about abundance in all areas of our lives, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. The ante has been upped. I'm sure you guys can feel it. I most definitely can. And I say the things that used to work aren't working anymore, and those, certain things are an old world paradigm. Yeah. Listen. So we got to get control of our thinking. We got to get control of going with the flow and start commanding and dictating the things that we want to experience in this world based on the way that we are thinking, feeling, eating, living, and breathing. And I'm emphasizing breathing. I want to emphasize breathing because there's nothing more soul filling than being outside on a beautiful sunny day and being amidst all this beauty of nature and being able to take in breaths, just breathing in and out, taking in the moment. It's the best thing ever. So we have to cultivate those relationships. We also need to put ourselves in environments where we have access to this, because this is going to be critical in the coming days as we continue to navigate cell towers and just all of the digital, frequency-based aspects of this war that we're all finding ourselves trying to navigate, okay? So I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you get a chance to go outside and get some sunshine. I hope you get a chance to create something, to think about something you want to create, to think about something you want to experience or live, something that gives your soul a lot of peace and that you can look forward to. All right? Peace and love.